Hello everyone, welcome to the video diary of an average Oxford mathematician. And we haven't had a video in a while, but this is, well, the new term has started, Hilary term has started, and yeah, we are currently at the end of week 1 of Hilary term, and it's time to bring back the weekly upload. I didn't make any videos during the holiday because yeah, I did a course on blockchain that turned out to be a lot more demanding than I thought it was, and also I didn't really have many ideas. Like there wasn't any really uh, something I really wanted to make, so I thought I might as well just focus on yeah, doing this course that I took over the break, and also studying for collections, which we had at the beginning of Hillary. The collections went fine. I feel like, at least for the math major, it was slightly non-indicative of how hard it would be in prelims. Like the problems were much easier than the past paper problems that I used to, like past paper prelim problems that I used to study for the collections. Which so I think the result is just not very indicative of how I will do in prelims. Uh, yeah. One more thing about the blockchain course, I've so I wasn't very sold on like the idea of crypto before. Like I've read a little bit about it, but I just it never convinced me as much of a good idea. But after taking this course, I think I've really at least I'm really sold on like the benefits of decentralization and consensus mechanisms provided by blockchain. So I will personally, I think it's a great idea, and I will probably, I might make some content relating to DeFi and like just decentralized applications. Um, yeah, the focus will not be cryptocurrency. I know that's a very controversial topic, but I think as a like a idea of as a technical idea, Web3 and like decentralized applications, I think there's a lot of potential to be, let's say, to be explored. Um, New term, things are going quite. Yeah, first week was quite slow. A little bit annoying this term is that I have face-to-face lectures, even though the COVID situation in England is just way worse than it was in the first term. I will talk about COVID in more details soon. But yeah, I have lectures for, I have like not mandatory, but like because I have 3 courses: analysis, linear algebra, and dynamics. It doesn't share like the video recordings of last year, and there are like recordings. There's live recordings, and also just they also upload the recordings of the lectures in case you miss it. But like the quality is just like watching the lectures in the lecture hall is perfectly fine, but like either watching the live lecture or watching the replay is just, I don't know. I personally have a hard time concentrating. But also, even though the live lectures I find to be, let's say, to be very good, right? The lectures are all very, very good. But what I find like a little bit annoying is that it it basically gives me a fixed schedule, right? I have to now like be in the math department from 9 to 11 every morning, right? And I have to, yeah. And also the pacing is also completely not up to me anymore, right? I don't get to choose whether or not I want to like replay a certain part or like skip over some parts. Yeah, so the lecture is a little. I feel like, yeah, it's not the most efficient as it could be, as it was in Michaelmas. As a result, I'm not Michaelmas, as in that's the first term. But yeah, as a result, I feel like last week, the first week of Hillary, was probably the busiest I've been. Like I worked the hardest that week, and I still had to like work on a Friday, and that usually doesn't happen in the first term. I usually finish my work Wednesday, Thursday at the latest, Tuesday sometimes even. But yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. Also, because we had collections, it makes it even worse because now we have like collection tutorials. We had one already. We're gonna have like 3 more, which is just tutorials to go over the collection, right? So, like between like the this so week one and the upcoming week two, I think I will have around like 15 hours of like tutorial slash like really small class size classes. So yeah, there'll be a lot of contact hour, which is obviously great, right? Like that's the best time to learn, but also it would, because the workload is still the same, it would put a lot of pressure on that side of things. Um, yeah, the other reason why I don't like the in-person lectures, as I've explained before, is the COVID situation right now is not great, especially in my college. Like, um, just in the first years, there's 80 of us, and I think there's around 10 people that tested positive in the last week. Living in the same building, obviously, right? Right now, like the person that lives immediately adjacent to me, so like just behind this wall, is positive and isolating, and also the person that is directly across from me from in the hall. So I am, yeah, surrounded by positive COVID cases, and so far I've been testing negative. I test with an LFD at least once a day, sometimes more. But yeah, so far I'm still negative, which I'm very happy about. But let's see how long that lasts, eh? Yeah. Anyway, that will be it for this week. Tune in for next week's video. I expect there to be um, some more interesting content, because I think next week, aside from the busy academics, I have a few projects planned as well.